And I'm here with my colleague Janelle Wilkins. We're with the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, the country's oldest and largest civil and human rights coalition. Been around fighting for civil and human rights for the better part of 60 years, and we're proud to be here with you today. We're here to say very simply, no to SB 1070. No to SB 1070. No to SB 1070. No to SB 1070. Why? Because SB 1070 is un-American. It does not comport with American values, and we must say no to SB 1070.
There's a good reason why the Leadership Conference is one of the leading groups in this effort to stand up to the Arizona law. And it's because this is going to be a landmark civil rights case. You know, there may be a number of very important doctrinal and technical issues that the court will look at, but the impact of the decision will either give a green light to discrimination or will say unequal treatment is wrong in America, and we're not going to let individual states pass discriminatory statutes that target people of color or people who speak with an accent.
The new state laws which are facing throughout the country, specifically in Arizona, Alabama, Georgia, Utah, Indiana, and South Carolina, are but recent examples of laws which lead to discrimination, divisiveness, continued fear-mongering, and the deplorable practices of racial profiling.
This could have a very serious impact to how folks are being treated at the local level. They're being harassed currently, they're being targeted, discriminated against, and this case is going to determine whether or not states in the future will be able to practice and enforce similar legislation.
According to DHS's own statistics, last year from January through June, they deported almost 50,000 parents of U.S. citizen children. 5,000 of those children, according to a November report, are currently in foster care. In the next 5 years, that number is going to be 15,000. These are children who do not have to be in the foster care system. These are children who could grow up with families if it weren't for these terrible, draconian, anti-immigrant laws.
I hope that those that are in charge will realize how hurtful this legislation is, and that they get rid of it, and they come to their senses that all Americans came from immigrants, color, non-color, and I think that the time has passed, way past. My wife was incarcerated in a concentration camp in America in the early 40s. She's a Japanese American, born in Phoenix, Arizona, and was subjected to the same type of racial profiling because of the color of her skin, the slant of her eyes, of how that she was not American enough to be left alone.
It's not just an Arizona issue, it's not just an immigrant issue, it's an American issue, it's about values, it's about what we stand for.
Unite and fight! 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 Morning, noon, and night! Morning, noon, and night! Day and night! Day and night! Like brown and white! Like brown and white! Like brown and white! Like brown and white!
We are here today to stand up for the values that created this strong nation of immigrants, to remind the Supreme Court of the constitutional principle that states do not have the right to legalize hate.
Because SB 1070 promotes racial discrimination and against people based on the way they look and speak. And that's just not what values our country was founded on.
Since when is it a crime to be Latino? Since when is it suspect to speak another language? This is a nation of immigrants. That's what we're founded on. That's what makes us unique. And so I really want to thank everybody for coming out today. This law is fundamentally un-American. It's fundamentally unjust. And we are hoping that the Supreme Court will stand on the side of justice and rule this law unconstitutional.
We are united, Latinos, immigrants, civil rights organizations, African American leaders, Asian American leaders, organized labor, and fair leader in calling for unite
and justice in America. One good thing that SB 1070 and other laws like this that have attacking the workers' rights, voting rights, and immigrant rights has done is to bring us together, right?
The worst immigration law in the land must be banned, must be banned. And who's gonna ban it? We the people. Who's gonna ban it? We the people. Who's gonna ban it? We the people. How are we gonna ban it? Unite and fight. How are we gonna ban it? Unite and fight. How are we gonna ban it? Unite and fight. How are we gonna ban it? Unite and fight. The worst immigration law in the land must be banned, must be banned. The worst immigration laws in the land must be banned.